We're a month out from the start of the NFL draft, so what does that mean? Mock drafts, especially some new ones given the couple trades we had in the top 10 going on last week with Miami, Philadelphia, and San Francisco moving around. So, Paul, let's start with Matt Miller first. He has his new website, thedraftscout.com. Patrick Surtain getting to the Giants at number 11. Most people consider him, especially with those Caleb Farley injuries, to be the top corner on the board.
Yeah, John, you know how I feel about him. Not only does he have all the measurables, he's coming from a great pro-style program with Nick Saban in Alabama. And then on top of that, his tape is just so structurally sound. You know, there's really nothing to knock him down on, except he doesn't have total blazing speed. It's just really good speed.
Yeah, did well with his pro day tackles. Of course, the connections, Alabama, Joe Judge. It's easy to put those puzzle pieces together. All right, Paul, let's go to the land zero line over to NFL.com. He has at number 11, Kyle Pitts dropping to the New York Football Giants.
Kyle Pitts, for me, is got to be in the top 3 players overall if I was to make a draft board. That's how much I think of him. I can't find any chinks in his armor whatsoever, which is why I would take him if he gets to 11. My goodness, that's a heck of a projection, though, because I think most people probably do think he's a top 5 talent.
And by the way, we do have a Chad Reader 4-round mock drafts we'll get to in a second, but you mentioned the top overall players at the position in the draft. So I want to get into that very quickly because both Daniel Jeremiah and Mel Kiper released their new big boards this week. And I thought it was interesting how they ranked some of these guys at the top. So let's talk about the weapons. Daniel Jeremiah, Kyle Pitts, second best player in the draft. He is Jamar Chase from LSU with 3, and then Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle back-to-back at 6 and 7. So 4 of those weapons in the top 7. Then you have Mel Kiper, Paul. He is Kyle Pitts, second best player in the draft as well. Devontae Smith at 3, Jamar Chase at 4, Jalen Waddle at 5. So you're looking at those 4 weapons for 2 of the best draft guys in the business right in that top 5 or top 7 players in the draft.
Well, John, this is why it shouldn't surprise anybody when you see one of those 4 names connected to the Giants. We've heard that Dave Gettleman and Joe Judge have said, you know, the Giants need an impact player on offense. Well, when you're picking 11 and you see those 4 guys constantly graded out in the top 10, it's only natural to hope that at least one of them would fall to 11.
2 other notes I think are interesting on those big boards for those 2 guys. Daniel Jeremiah has Rashawn Slater ahead of Penei Sewell. Slater at 9, Sewell at 12. His top pass rusher is Gregory Rousseau. He's the 13th best guy. Now for Kiper, he has Sewell at 8, Slater at 9, the 2 offensive linemen, and then he has Kwity Paye as his top pass rusher in the draft at 16.
Yeah, see, with the pass rushers, I really think it's like, what flavor of ice cream do you prefer? There's really no consensus there as to everybody saying this is the best pass rusher. I think a lot of people think that Parsons from Penn State might be the best defensive player. You might get more people who would agree on that. Offensive line-wise, I pretty much think the majority is on Sewell being the top guy.
All right, then very quickly, Paul, Chad Reader, who's one of the great NFL.com draft analysts, he had a 4-round mock draft. He is a trade down. The Giants dropping back to 20th overall, gaining a first-round pick next year and a third-round pick this year, at 20 taking Azeez Ojulari. Your thoughts on that? Bears moving up to pick a quarterback, by the way.
Well, I would not be shocked if the Giants did trade down from 11 if they've decided that their first-round pick, by the time it gets to them, is going to be a pass rusher. Because I think that's where the most gamble is going to be amongst the positions that will be taken in their vicinity. But if they have conviction on a particular guy, you know Dave Gettleman's history. If he really, really wants a guy, he will take him no matter where he is.
And then I'll give you the next 3 picks. Remember, they picked up an extra 3rd-round pick. So there's a 2nd-round pick and 2 threes here. Round 2, Christian Barmore dropping to the Giants. Defensive tackle, Alabama.
Solid
Round
player.
3, guard Trace Smith out of Tennessee. Monster of a man.
Yeah.
Really good run blocker. And then one of your guys, running back Kenneth Gainwell, with the 2nd, 3rd-round pick.
Wow. Now, see, Gainwell, I think, is going to be right in that vicinity between the 2nd day and 3rd day, John. But you know that I've talked about him on BBKL before. I think he'd be a terrific hedge bet and a complimentary running back for anybody's backfield.
You want to know who Reader picked in the 4th round? Well, go check it out on NFL.com. He's Paul Dottino. I'm John Schmelk. Our latest look at the newest mock drafts.